Broadcasting from the 72nd floor of First Canadian Place in the heart of Toronto's financial district, this is #Finance, the podcast that profiles innovative entrepreneurs and thought leaders operating in the public markets. Presented to you by the CSE, the Exchange for Entrepreneurs.
Hello and welcome to another episode of #Finance. I am your host, Grace Pedota, and we are here at the First Canadian Place in Toronto, Ontario. I am joined today with Traci Costa, founder and CEO of Peekaboo Beans. Traci, It is so wonderful to have you in the office. Your market open, was very pink in light of International Women's Day yesterday. Tons going on in Toronto. How did you celebrate?
Well, I flew in yesterday. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And my celebration was reflection, just on coming here, being probably the only publicly traded company in Canada with a majority female board. And that is really something to celebrate. So that's what I did.
That's
just
awesome.
Reflection.
Yeah. You know what? Reflection is needed. And sometimes we just, such as yourself, probably very busy, we don't think to just stop and reflect. And then it just really, it helps. It really does.
Yeah. And just kind of take it all in.
Exactly.
Because we're in a place right now where everything we do makes a difference. And so we're just paving the way.
Yeah.
I have two girls. I want to show them that, they can make a difference and they can use their voice and we can be a part of change.
That's amazing. And before we get into that, let's, for our viewers that don't know what Peekaboo Beans is, can you kind of talk to us a little bit about what is Peekaboo Beans?
Peekaboo Beans is a lifestyle brand of apparel for children. We design for playful living. We're passionate about getting kids outdoors, playing, having fun, and becoming who they are meant to be. And we're creating a world-class brand, not just with our apparel, but we're launching a transmedia adventure story in which is going to bring Peekaboo Beans to life. Yeah.
Wow. Sorry, what you're launching, you have a 229% increase in growth quarter over quarter, which is so impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I can't even, I mean, that's not even year over year, that's quarter over quarter. So what is driving that growth with your company?
Last year was a reset year for us. We pivoted our business model. We moved to an omni-channel. We opened a store. We launched Amazon. We launched an affiliate platform. And we're really tapping into the social influencers. So we're changing the way that people shop, or we're evolving with the way that people shop. And now it's growth year. All of our ad spend is turning anywhere from 10 times return on our ad spend. So we're really seeing the shift now, and we're launching some pretty big initiatives this March.
Wow, awesome. And what are those initiatives? Can you talk more about them?
The first one is a sustainability play. We really want to create that circular economy. We want our product to not end up in a landfill, which is the number 2 pollutant to the landfill. Textile waste is. And so we have created a buyback program. Our product lasts exceptionally long. We have product that's being sold in off markets up to 12 years old. So that's just a testament to the quality of our product. So now we're bringing that in-house, and we're going to be buying back product and then reselling it on our site. So it's a worn wear platform. The second-hand market is growing 21 times faster than the everyday retail market because of the awareness that it's having on the environment.
Wow.
So that's one of our big initiatives. We just launched the first phase of that. And we launched that in store. And then come May, we'll be launching that online. The second one is also an enormous project that I've been working on for the last year and a half. And it's with a group out of Montreal. The platform is called Get Dressed for Adventure. And the reason why we've done this is because great brands engage, great brands entertain, and that's what we aspire to be. Now, if you think about it, who's our target market? Is our target market the parent, or is it the child? The parent's buying the clothes, but the children are wearing it. And so we're playing on both of those now. We're launching a 12-month subscription box but it is actually solving a lot of problems because it's a adventure story. So we're taking kids on a transmedia adventure. They get a box every month. Our characters are animated. It's got augmented reality within it. And basically, we're just creating a whole Peekaboo Beans world where a child can immerse themselves in it and we can become top of mind in a household. But we also get to incorporate our clothes. The characters are wearing our clothes. They're getting dressed for adventure. And that's all weaved throughout the platform. It's an incredibly revolutionary product because it takes a storybook, which you hold, but it reads to you in a podcast form, and it also has augmented reality so the characters come to life.
Wow. That is...
So it's groundbreaking.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was talking to you probably 6 months ago. You were in this podcast studio and you were talking about this initiative. And just to see you actually go through with this initiative and make it happen is incredible. So, you know, I can't even believe you've got some wicked ladies on your team.
Yeah, I know. I'm so blessed.
Yeah.
And it's that culture that we've created where it's respected, it's collaboration, it's, you know, we're all parents too. So there's this real awareness of having to manage home and family and also be a part of great change in a business and creating a great brand. So I would be nowhere without my team. They're
amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And they're in the trenches. No, I get to go out and I get to do the traveling, and I mean, I'm in there with them, but I'm doing a lot of the PR and a lot of the traveling, and I get to do things like this, which is really cool. And they're in the trenches.
Yeah.
And that they're doing that like grassroots work. So
wow. Well, that's what makes you a great leader is that, you know, you like to keep your employees happy.
Yeah.
And you were mentioning that before, and that's a sign of a great leader.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you've had a couple new hires recently. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
So Sarah Bundy has a world-class affiliate marketing company. When we pivoted the business to an omni-channel, she was just a natural fit. She is an expert in her domain. And Tamara Mimran is Canadian royalty in fashion, the Mimran family. And from a design and product perspective, she just brings an abundance of her knowledge to the board. So, I mean, it's great. They're women, and they're part of the culture. They understand the needs of our customer, but at the same time, they're powerful, and they're a powerhouse of their backgrounds. So,
yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you know, we live in a world today where if you don't have at least one female on your board, you know, it's seen as not progressive. But I wouldn't use those words. I mean, you know, I had a podcast, you know, a couple of years ago where I was talking to portfolio managers of funds that would only put money into female-led funds. And I posed the question, well, what does gender have to do with the performance of a company, right? Because I like to play on both sides.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's really just like the common notion was that, you know, women bring in a different perspective. It's not about the gender. It's that, you know, if you're sitting on a board, there's decisions from a higher level that need to be made. And having a woman's perspective along with a male's brings that, you know, that color to a decision. Yeah.
I truly believe, and not just because I'm a woman and that I'm fighting for that diversity, I truly believe that women do bring another perspective, and I really feel that companies that aren't listening to that are missing out dramatically because great things can happen and when you're having a diverse voice within your platform, especially now. I mean, we're in 2020 and there's a new generation that's coming into the world and they operate differently. My daughter's 16 and she tells me the way it is, and she says, you know, there shouldn't be gender reveal parties anymore, and all of these kind of things that are, you know, a lot different than from when I was like having those when it's like it's a boy, it's a girl. So we have to keep up and we have to be relevant, and it's important for us in that generation that's kind of moving along with it that we do participate in that. I think we're missing out if we don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And to the point of men providing their feedback and interest in it as well. I think it's all equally important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what does International Women's Day mean to you?
I have two perspectives of it. One, I think it's funny that we need a day to celebrate because I think that should just be normal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think of it as progress.
Mm-hmm.
And look at Greta Thunberg. She's a 12-year-old girl who's making global impact for the environment.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to celebrate and recognize those achievements, I think we should take it. Yeah. But hopefully one day there won't be that, and we can just celebrate that there's equality.
Yeah. No. Mm-hmm. Well said. And is there anything else you can kind of share about the progress or what we can look forward to with Peekaboo Beans? I know you had mentioned some changes that you wanted to make.
Well, we're rebranding. So this week, we're going to be launching a whole new modern, relevant Peekaboo Beans. And that is because we've been a business for 14 years. We've grown, matured, and we want to reflect that within the brand, and we want to be relevant with our customers. So that's exciting. Along with our transmedia adventure, along with our sustainability play, we are putting our dollars to ad spend, and we're growing our revenue. But at the end of the day, Peekaboo Beans is ultimately one that is going to be an international brand that celebrates children, celebrates play, and really builds grassroots community. So it's something that is required to be patient and to see that through. I, as a leader, will ensure that happens, and at the end of the day, will be integrated into families all across North America, where that mission of just really getting kids active and playing is why it's important. So it's going to be an exciting next 6 months for us. I'm stoked about it.
Yeah, I'm excited for you.
Thank you. And it's so many things that have taken time and patience to get where we're at today.
Oh,
so
I know.
Sometimes
That's
feels
why
like
I
you're
was
just
saying,
talking about those initiatives, and now it's like it's here.
Yeah,
So,
like that's what I was saying. I was so impressed that, last time when you were here, you were talking about this. And a lot of the times people don't follow through on those kinds of things.
Yeah,
and
sometimes they're ideas.
Exactly.
It's all about execution. And so it is about being patient and seeing it through. And sometimes timelines get pushed a bit, but we're there. I have the inventory. I have the boxes. They're incredible. Our platform with sustainability is launched. So, yeah.
That's awesome. And I noticed that on social, you do a lot of TikTok videos.
Yes.
Has that helped with the branding of your company? Like, I'm curious.
Yeah, it's so funny because my daughters got me into that.
Yeah.
And because there are 11 and 16, it's kind of like a new way to play with them because, you're not playing Barbies, you're not playing dolls, but it's the way that they're engaging. So I'm going along with it. But I think what it does is it just creates a realness to who I am because I'm just silly and having fun with my kids. And it actually does gain you a lot more followers because I think there's a realness to it, and people, it's not stuffy and perfectly manicured Instagram and all of that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, if we can't have fun and if we can't laugh at ourselves, what do we have? So
yeah, that was one of the main initiatives for this podcast was, let's sit down and get to know the CEO behind the company. What do they do? What do they like to do? What drives them to be successful? And
kids, 100%, having gone through the journey I did to conceive both of my children, I just have a distinct love and appreciation for empowering them to have their own voice. And to be at the helm of that it's what I wake up for every single day.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Traci, for joining us today. It's always a pleasure to have you in the office.
Thank you so much.
And here in our studio. Where can our viewers find you online and on social?
So if you go to www.peekaboobeans.com with 2 E's, you'll find all our social channels. We're on Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, our blog, YouTube, all of them. TikTok now as well, you mentioned.
Yeah.
And I'm at, on Instagram, the Queen Bean.
Great.
So,
Perfect. Love it.
You can follow all my funny life journey.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Traci. And thank you for joining us for another episode of Hashtag Finance. If you are watching today, please subscribe to CSC_TV on YouTube. And if you listen, please subscribe to iTunes, Spotify. We love it when you subscribe. Thank you again for listening. This is Grace Pedota, and I just finished another episode of Hashtag Finance with Traci Costa, CEO and founder of Peakaboo Beans.